Hello again, and welcome to tomorrow's forecast. So, guess what? For the third day in a row, we have the Emperor. Do you know statistically how impossible this would be? Shuffling all of these decks, 9 decks, and getting 3 times Emperor. It's just like puzzles me. So I really, before even sitting down and giving you the explanation, I really have to. I studied. I went to check the Kabbalah and what it says about it because the message is very strong. Stay the course, stay the course. You need to do something, right? Before I get to Emperor, which is the only major arcana here, I really want to actually address the two inverse cards that we have here. So Two of Pentacles are generally slow. It is indicating that our progress is slow. It is clearly telling us that we are possibly very busy and that maybe at times we struggle to manage our activities, right? Maybe we are dropping on our commitments, right? Maybe we are struggling to pay our bills and keeping kind of like atop of on the other financial obligations, right? This is also the card that talks about stress getting to us, right? So therefore, when we see this card reversed, it is encouraging us to become more organized and more kind of like planned in our approach. So for example, give yourself a list of what you want to accomplish the following day, right? Start the day with intention, not just like I'm going to go to work and I'm going to return, but start that day with intention. So, I really think that, especially if it comes to relationship, it's advising you not to overcommit. So if you're starting this list, don't make this list into 25 things. Make this into 3 that you know you're going to be able to do it, even if one of these tasks is make a bed in the morning, right? And then we also have the Page of Swords in a reversal, which it talks about that we are acting hastily. We are really not enjoying the process without it. So it's without thinking because it's a swords. Swords are all about words and thinking, right? And thinking through properly. So yes, they push us forward because thinking is like faster than speed of light if you really think about it. But there is also a lot of energy in that card that is basically telling us you have this energy, why you're not channeling it properly, right? Also, sometimes this is all talk and no action, kind of like a card, and you have to be very careful about making promises that you know you cannot keep, or saying things that you're going to later regret. This is one of those goody two shoes sometimes, where you really say things, but they're really not aligned that way in your head. And that's why it's saying it's better to take a deep breath, think about it, and say, you know what, we really need to talk about it. But right now, I'm busy, and let's do it some other time. That's kind of like the positioning of that card, right? Maybe you are knowing others with constant questioning or challenging of their ideas. Try to devote at least 1 day a week that you just don't do it. You just zip it, kind of a thing, even though if it's a complete nonsense that you hear, right? And I don't know. Lastly, it can mean completely banal thing that maybe you have to deliver a presentation or you may be a public speaker and there it is like a big fear and panic and you kind of like run up the walls for that, right? It just, you need to understand that this is like somehow a point of view in this card where this is like a lots of things that need to be in balance, right? Hence, like how is this gluing with this emperor over here? So again, the emperor governs his own world and those within it, right? He sails his own ship and it's answerable to none. And yet there are many who are answering to him. He is very constant, he is secure, he is steadfast, even though the others can see him as dull and rigid and somehow controlling. You will see many bosses kind of like positioning as an emperor. That's, of course, is like ruling the sign of Aries, the Mars that is now finally direct. So it's telling us like you have been sleepy for such a long time. How about wakey right now and just kind of go ahead and do things, right? So for example, if if it all seems to be getting out of control, then his hand will go up and he will draw halt to the proceedings, right? He cannot stand chaos and noise or disruption, and it's going to really storm down really, really hard if that happens, or like it's not going in a good direction, right? So he is always kind of like positioned in tarot elevated. There is like this red robe and a little bit with orange to show this like fire. But you need to understand that the emperor stands alone. It is a very hard job that he is undertaken, and this is not a job that one makes where like this is a job where one has to make tough choices at times, and sometimes he has to render unpopular decisions, which he knows are not always going to be kind of like cherished and welcome, but at the same time he does not expect these people to understand the way he works because he is not one of them. Wink, wink. So again, reinforcing the messages for the yesterday and the day before, please watch those videos because they're really guiding us and giving you all of these different layers over here. There are some kind of decision that we need to make that is not going to be popular, and many people prefer to go along than and to get along instead of kind of like doing things that are the best for them. And some people spend a lifetime, and I think this is like a little bit of that authenticity that is now kind of like coming up on the surface, bubbling up, and you're saying, you know what, I did their way all my life. I'm not doing this right now, right? So it is kind of like you taking that lead, you're taking the wheel, and you're understanding that you are not actually afraid of dealing with harsh reality or unpleasant situations. So maybe like you're saying, okay, I did let go my bills. So what do I do right now? Do I need to negotiate them? Do I organize a plan? How do I stop this from sinking? And maybe this is like the conversation with people, which kind of like he needs to stop himself of being blasting people out, etc. Because the emperor is very controlling, it's very steady, it's very successful, but he's also what is not, he's not a people pleaser, right? In fact, he really cares less if you like him or not, right? He's not there, he's not a politician, he's not there to win a popular kind of like vote, right? But you know, he also has impeccable high standards, and this is why he's respected. You know, like when people come with words, or some people call them old school kind of a thing. So this is all head and not his heart. Very much like the pages and the swords can be that way. And it's very important over here, giving that the messages are very, very important, very coming through, is that you need to know also who you can count on and who you cannot count on. And really reassess your life to really see who is not allowing you to be that emperor, and then you figure out why, as it's very important, right? So yeah, you have to have the high standards. You maybe only few people can reach them, and it's a little bit of possibly tension with the family that I see with all of these readings. And, you know, unfortunately, it's all too often that Emperor is oblivious to any real drama that is going on around him because he's so focused on his tasks. Because that way, all of this interference, once I listen Oprah talking about her marathon run, and she says, you cannot look behind, you cannot look left, you cannot look right because you have a goal. That's basically the definition of the emperor, right? So it's very important to move forward. Like we got 3 days in a row, emperor upright. So this is also very important. It's something like a father principle. Maybe you need to go back what you got from your father or your father's side of the family, because that is like something that is really important, and those lessons need to be applied now. So let's see if you're going to get emperor tomorrow. And until the next time, you know that I love you guys. If you like that, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, please do thumb it down, and we can move forward. Don't forget to check February forecast because it's done and fresh. Check on my live readings, and that's what we did it. Also, you're invited every Saturday at 12 pardon me, at 11 Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you there. Love you. Bye.